There's an interesting situation going into the 2025 MLB All-Star game as far as jersey-related stuff, and it might not seem like a lot, but again, as someone who's a uniform guy, I've been thinking about it for a little bit. So we know what's happening now with the formats returning to, where the home team wears their white uniforms and the road team wears their road uniforms. If like an NL team is hosting it, then the NL teams wear the home and vice versa too. You know how that's going to work. And like I said, after seeing the atrocious practice jerseys, my stance has changed, and I'm glad to see these back in the fold here. But there is something curious for two teams in the AL, and they're going to be the road team for this because the Braves are an NL team and they're hosting the All-Star game. Both the Tampa Bay Rays and the Seattle Mariners do not have road gray uniforms. Instead, their road uniforms are their navy uniforms. That's because if you aren't aware, when Nike became the uniform provider, they did a 4+1 rule where teams had a home, road, 2 alternates, and the +1 was the City Connect. And at the time, both the Rays and the Mariners had 6 uniforms in rotation, and the Rays wanted to keep their Devil Ray alternate throwback, so they kept it in the rotation, but removed their road gray and made this one, their navy, the primary road uniform. Same thing with the Mariners. They had a throwback uniform they wanted to keep around, so they got rid of their road gray uniform and they made their navy the primary road uniform. So when you think about it, since they're both in the AL and they're going to be a road team for the All-Star game, the Rays and Mariners players, they're not going to be wearing their road grays. They're going to be wearing their navy road uniforms while the other teams are wearing the gray. And it got me thinking, seeing that, like, what if we saw the AL teams did their alternate road uniforms for this match, or even just their alternate uniforms in general. They're the non-white uniforms for this game. I know some might say it's a little bit chaotic, but you know what? I've been seeing these pictures around of like the 70s and 80s All-Star games where they did this back in the day. You know what? As someone who likes uniforms, I think this would be actually kind of cool. Now, you know, like some teams like the Yankees would have a only road gray uniform. That makes sense. But for other teams like the ones previously mentioned, the AL teams, there's a lot of colorful alternate uniforms. Why not try this out? Or probably they'll just do all the teams will wear the road grays, and then the Mariners and Rays, like previously mentioned, will just be wearing their navy ones. But it got me thinking, like, what if all the teams kind of just didn't do the road grays, and all the road teams for the AL did like the road alternates, while the regular NL team who's hosting it just wears the home white uniforms. I don't know why. I just thought this picture was cool just seeing that. Again, just thinking about this. But yeah, it's just a curious thing to think about because the Rays and Mariners, like I said, don't have a road gray uniform. So what do you think is going to happen? Are all teams just going to wear the road grays and just these are going to wear their navies? Or do you think they should just mix it up here for the AL team? Let me know what you think down below.